So I recently started platinuming some games of mine with a current grand total of 1. But today we're adding to that list with the incredible Marvel's Spider-Man. Spider-Man came out in 2018 and quickly became touted as one of the greatest superhero games of all time. The remastered version for the PS5, which is the version we're playing, released about 2 years later, and with Spider-Man 2 so very, very close, no time like the present. 51 trophies are up for grabs, including the Platinum. The remastered version did add a few trophies of its own, and that's not even counting all the DLC trophies, but none of these are required to unlock the Platinum, so I'm good. So without further ado, grab your Spidey suit and let's meet the new and improved Peter Parker. Who the f*** is this? That's what I said to myself when I first started playing the game. You get used to it, it's fine. Right off the bat, you're introduced to the beauty of New York, and it cannot be overstated how fun it is to just swing around the city in this game. Our first trophy comes at the beginning of the game as we take down Kingpin and his men in an epic showdown that sets the tone for the entire game. And locking up the big homie for good nabs us knocking down Kingpin. Great start, kid. Keep it up. With the city safe, Peter is off to his day job where we meet his mentor, Dr. Octavius, who's testing his latest creation that I'm sure will not come back to bite him in the ass. Oh, wait, it did. Damn, Doc, what do you use this thing for, huh? After fixing Doc's robot arm, via one of the oddly more enjoyable minigames we come across, we're back on Spidey duty. Before continuing the story, I decided to sync up with every crime tower in Manhattan right off the bat. These towers also give you information about collectibles, hideouts, and side missions, and as you can see, there's gonna be a lot of them. Now, I did stop to take care of a couple miscreants along the way and grab a few collectible backpacks, which ended up bagging me the Lost and Found trophy. As we continue towards our next tower, Spidey greets his adoring fans in New York City and unlocks the Spider-Man About Town trophy for greeting 10 of them. How's it going? Oh, is that not 10? Hey, how's it going, lady? What's up? There it is. And finally, we sync up with the very last tower in the city to receive the Amazing Coverage trophy. We are cooking, and we've barely done anything. With our Spidey suit looking a little worse for the wear, it's time to head back to the lab for a quick fix. However, while repairing the Spidey suit, Otto busts in and discovers that Peter is Spider-Man's tailor. Back on duty, it's time to bring out the Spidey gadgets. There's a huge array of gadgets that become available throughout the game, and crafting our first upgrade unlocks the Scientific Method trophy. Next, we're introduced to landmarks, which are various spots throughout New York that Spidey needs to photograph for reasons. So after snapping a few landmark pics and stopping a few more crimes, it was time to meet up with Aunt May at the Feast Shelter. You know, I still don't know what that stands for, by the way. FEA. And I played this game for like 30 hours. While at the shelter, we're introduced to the owner, Martin Lee, who appears to be a perfectly kind gentleman with zero ulterior motives whatsoever. And we all surprised her auntie with a thank you party for all her hard work. But no time for cake because Spidey's got a job to do and we got trophies to get. Even though at this point it's nearly impossible for me to stay on track with all these fun little colored icons just popping up all over the map all the time, distracting my ADHD brain. I've also collected 24 backpacks, by the way, already. I'm not playing around. Things start to get serious though, as Spidey is informed of a hostage situation and comes face to face with a group known as the Demons. But just as Spider-Man thinks he's got the upper hand, this happens.
Buddy, if I had a nickel for every don't move.
Uh-oh. Who's gonna get him? Oh, it's MJ. What up, girl?
Hey, Pete.
We're thrown into the perspective of MJ, who's posing as a photographer to obtain evidence about Fisk and the Demon Clan. Yeah, right there. Oh, that's a good one. Yep, right here. Yep. Oh, the camera loves you. The camera loves you. After sneaking her way through the museum, MJ discovers plans for Devil's Breath, which is undoubtedly just as bad as it sounds. Clearly, the demons are up to something crazy, and we gotta find a way to shut them down. A few more minutes of sexual tension and one Stan Lee cameo later, and we're back on the streets. While zipping to our next objective, grabbing a few landmarks, we unlock the King of Swing trophy for completing our first benchmark, and the Wing It trophy for traversing across the city rooftops. And trying out a couple of our newly unlocked Spidey suits rewards us with the Snappy Dresser trophy. You know, things have been going pretty good this evening. Maybe not for this guy, but everybody else is doing good. But everything changed when suddenly, pow! The Shocker has escaped and he's on the loose. The Shockmaster leads Spidey on a grand chase throughout Manhattan, but you cannot outrun a Spider-Man.
You know what, Herman? You have like zero personality, but your suit is awesome.
After laying waste to Shocker, we knock out a few side missions that include tailing, saving, ass-whooping, and bird chasing also. And during those adventures, we unlock the And Stay Down trophy for completing our first combat benchmark. These other dudes. Oh! Wait, and stay down. What? How'd I get that? What was that? Back on the main story path, Peter returns to Feast to ask Martin Lee about the demon masks. Naturally, Lee says, "Oh, wow, what's this, man? Never seen it before." Liar! Oh, by the way, I have 46 out of 55 backpacks because I'm just built different. Our next stop is Octavius Industries, where Dr. Octavius is testing his sex arm on an unwilling subject when who busts in to spoil the party but Norman Osborn, Doc Ock's old college buddy and current nemesis. Mayor Osborn shuts down the Doc's lab and puts Octavius' future at risk, which I'm sure will not cause this man to spiral into oblivion. Moving on. We now have access to research towers throughout the city, which feature various tasks given to us by Norman's son, Harry. These are basically mini side missions where you complete tasks that help benefit the public, like collect smog samples or unclog a sewer drain, even prevent a damn bird flu epidemic. I don't think he's getting paid enough for this, to be honest. But Spidey's problems just continue to pile up because Shocker Hardly Knower has escaped custody and is attempting to rob a bank, and this time he's not playing around. But neither am I. Oh my god. Ooh. Not today, Shock Boy. Oh. Oh, this might be it. Oh, that's gonna kill him. Oh, he's gonna die. Got his ass. Oh, he's gonna bust.
You brought this on yourself. Literally.
Yeah, he brought it because it came. Yep, all right. Shock and awe, baby. Cooking with oil. 10 in the bag. Can't stop, won't stop. Back to ridding the city of these parasites, and we unlock the Spider Sensible trophy for perfect dodging 10 attacks and look cool as shit doing it, by the way. Unfortunately, the 5-0 shows up, but this time, it's actually Officer Davis, who Spidey fans would immediately recognize to be the father of a very important character who we meet a little later on. The two work together to take down the demons and become BFFs in the process. So what does Spidey get for putting his life on the line and helping to save the day once again? Evicted. He gets evicted. This leads Peter on a dumpster diving adventure around the city to find his, like, Spidey bag and Spidey dongle or something, I think it was. I don't know. As if Peter didn't have enough on his plate, he comes across a recording from Black Cat, which reveals a whole new set of objectives around the map to find and complete, because of course it does. And finishing the first one rewards us with Cats Out of the Bag. Quick nap, and it's back to business for old Petey. First things first, we gotta help Howard with his pigeons. All right, this is Howard. He lost his pigeons. And yes, that's another icon added to the map now, by the way. Regardless, we grab a couple pigeons and hit a little quick change on our way to check out a tip from our police officer buddy, Mr. Davis. The demons are out of control, and somebody's got to stop them. Spider-Man! Then, in one of the coolest cutscenes in the game, Spidey finds himself in a sticky situation and has to stop a massive crane from crushing like 8 city blocks, and then stop the helicopter that's about to do even more damage. This is just another reminder of how sick this game is. This entire sequence is so good. The balance of the action and the quick time events, just so incredibly satisfying. That reminds me, I should call her. But who just happened to have a front row seat for Spidey saving the city? None other than Miles Morales himself, and you already know this won't be the last time we see him. Later that day, Peter, MJ, and Miles are all attending Mayor Osborn's rally to honor the heroics of Miles' father, Officer Davis. See, Daddy, that was the kid. That's what we were talking about earlier. But this next major trophy comes at a heavy price. The demons strike hard. Street go boom, guy go boom. This is really bad. We get our first glimpse of Miles' heroics as he runs through burning buildings, saves his mama, parkours over shit, sneaks past demons, and gets his ass kicked but survives thanks to Martin Lee, leader of the demons, because obviously, I knew it. Miles then, however, comes to realize that the unthinkable has happened and his canon event has occurred. Demons emerge. Holy shit, dude. This game is cooking. Act 2 kicks off with a bang as we stop a speeding vehicle from tearing through the city and unlock the Overdrive trophy, because apparently we've done that 10 times. From there, we take our frustrations out on an enemy base while making sure to complete the objectives, and we're rewarded with Ace the Base. Arachnophobia is next, which required us to perform 75 stealth takedowns. Now, since I was not keeping count, I was pleasantly surprised to see this one pop up, even though I wouldn't technically call this particular takedown very stealthy. None of that matters, however, because Mother has arrived along with her Sable agents who Mayor Osborn has hired for protection. Unfortunately, our romantic evening is interrupted, but we find out that we're actually all on the same side, so crisis averted. For now. Back at Feast, Peter decides to sneak into Lee's office to try to figure out what dude's deal is. And I don't know how more obvious you can make it that you're hiding something crazy than by having a contraption that looks like this. We make it out of the office with the file on Devil's Breath, but guess who catches us in the act? Lee tries stopping Peter by using his power that can possess people, but haha, I'm Spider-Man. An urgent call from Doc Ock brings Peter back to the laboratory, but before finding out what all the fuss is about, we knocked out a few spectrographical, the things with the colors and the lines and the shit, whatever. We got to complete all these for a trophy, so I knocked out as many as I could for now. So anyways, Doc tries to show off his new and improved sex robot arm, but once again, look what happens. Fear not, Doc. Pete steps in, does a little beep, boop, 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 and voila, the Stroke Arm 2.0 is up and running. You're welcome. Now, before heading to our next objective, I happened to notice a new icon on the map. Apparently, Taskmaster has left a number of different challenges throughout the city because of course he friggin' did. Good news is we're about to knock out a bunch of trophies because of it, so I took this opportunity to do a little trophy blitz. Completing a drone challenge rewards us with Spy Hunter. A bomb challenge gets us Short Fuse. The stealth challenge unlocks the Ninja Trophy. And besting the combat challenge gives us Fists of Fury. Our next target is the Born to Ride trophy, which requires us to ride the subway 5 times. Now, throughout the city, there's subway stops that you can enter to fast travel to other parts of the map, and the loading screens that come along with it are just excellent. And after the 5th trip, the trophy unlocks. Hug It Out was my next objective. Now, this one took my dumbass a little longer than it probably should have, because I thought the trophy said knock 10 enemies with trip mines, but it's actually knock 10 pairs of enemies with trip mines. But after a little trial and error, it was easy peasy. Can't even get a line of sight on that guy. Oh, I got it. Oh my God. That took way longer than it should have. Next up was Pigeon Hunter. This was one of the easier side objectives to run through, so I figured I'd get these birds back to Howard ASAP so they can live happily ever after. Look, I'm a softie. It is what it is. On the way back to the main objective, we knocked out another quick trophy, Sticky and Tricky, for chaining together 4 unique tricks in the air. Back to the main story. It's about to go down, so try to keep up. After sneaking into Oscorp Tower and accessing Osborn's computer, you discover that Devil's Breath was actually meant to cure diseases, but in its current form, it's a bioweapon that could trigger a global epidemic. It's so dangerous, Dr. Michaels keeps it locked to his wrist at all times. That's crazy. Back at the lab, Doc Ock has summoned Peter to witness a major breakthrough, but he actually just wanted me to watch him like play with his balls or whatever, which leads Peter to discover that the neural implant Otto is using is messing with his brain and altering his personality. You think? Meanwhile, poor Miles cannot catch a break. He gets jumped by some ruffians in an alleyway, only for good old Spider-Man to make the save and give Miles some tips on defending himself before dipping out. Miles then makes his way over to Feast to begin volunteering when he crosses paths with President Joe Biden? Like, what are you doing here, Joe? Time's that tough? Biden then goes on to insult Miles' dad. Of course, he didn't know it was his dad at that moment, but still, read the room, Joe. Come on. We cut back to Dr. Michaels and his briefcase as he gets into his car perfectly normally. Nothing wrong with that. But watch out, Doc. The bad guys are coming. The demons and Martin Lee swoop in and kidnap Dr. Michaels along with the Devil's Breath, but fear not, because Spidey's on the move and he's coming to save the day. This actually leads to a really cool trippy scene brought on by Martin trying to possess Spider-Man. Very reminiscent of the Scarecrow scenes from the Arkham series. Honestly, a lot of stuff in this game reminds me of the Arkham series, which is probably why I like it so much. This leads to an epic battle with a massive demon mask until Spidey snaps out of it and stops the speeding truck, but not before Devil's Breath is stolen away, and Mother is not happy about it. This is bad, really bad. This is very bad. And it's only about to get worse, because in trying to help Spider-Man, MJ finds herself in the crossfire at Grand Central Station as Martin Lee and the demons create a hostage situation with Mary Jane smack dab in the middle of it. Martin plans to release Devil's Breath in the train station, which will undoubtedly have major repercussions, but not if Spidey's got anything to say about it. With the demons distracted, MJ defuses the bomb and saves the folks in the station. Let's go, MJ! Meanwhile, Spider-Man races after Lee underground, and following an insane subway battle, Martin Lee finally goes down for good. With Martin Lee put away and Devil's Breath contained, Spidey can now take a breath and tie up some loose ends in the city. After taking down the final Demon Warehouse trophy in the city, we're rewarded with the Inner Sanctuary trophy. Upgrading our Spidey tech 15 times with all the tokens we've earned is going to give us the Science for the Win trophy. And swinging by the cemetery to visit Uncle Ben unlocks with great power.
Doing my best to make you proud.
Aww. Petey. From there, we visit the last research station on the map to obtain the R&D trophy and finish off every single Taskmaster challenge in the city to nab Challenge Finder. Then Taskmaster whooped my ass, but we'll circle back to that. With all that out of the way, Peter heads back to the lab, and oh boy, here we go. Dr. Octavius now has arms coming out of his back, which are controlled by his brain, and for some reason, his side profile looks like Peter Griffin. The other Peter discovers a major flaw in the neural interface, but Doc doesn't want to hear any of it, and he dismisses Peter while sending a threatening message to Mayor Osborn.
You have no idea what you're in for.
Spidey's day takes a big jump from bad to worse as he discovers that not only has Devil's Breath been stolen from Sable custody, but a huge riot on Rikers Island caused tons of inmates to escape, including some of Spider-Man's worst enemies. This leads to probably the sickest cutscene in the entire game, where Spidey is swarmed by damn near his entire rogues gallery until the true mastermind behind it all is finally revealed.
Stopped out. Oh, he's here.
The Sinister Six have joined forces, and the Six Assemble trophy is unlocked for completing Act 2. But that is not all, because as the night comes to a close, Doc Ock releases Devil's Breath on the citizens of New York, causing a widespread pandemic. Holy shit. Within 24 hours, New York has become a war zone with escaped inmates terrorizing the streets. As if Spider-Man doesn't have enough going on, he finds out May and Miles are trapped in a fire at one of Feast's sister shelters, and he swoops in just in the nick of time, thank God. So desperate to find the anti-serum that will reverse the effects of Devil's Breath, Spider-Man gets caught up in a trap and finds himself in a 1v2 situation against Electro and Vulture. This was an insane fight with some awesome cinematic moments, but even in a handicapped scenario, Spider-Man comes out on top, and we earn the Grounded trophy for the victory.
Damn, that fight was actually crazy. Grounded. Another one bites the dust.
Well, that takes care of the villains, right? Wrong. Here comes Scorpion, who leads you on a poison-induced psychological adventure while you're desperately trying to find a cure, which somehow ends up with Spider-Man being in his drawers. Okay. You know, while we're here, we might as well finish the side projects in the lab, and banging out the last few circuit puzzles and completing the entire list rewards us with a bit of a fixer-upper. Switching over to probably my favorite Spidey suit in the game, we take out another Sable ambush and unlock Neighborhood Watch for completing all faction crimes in a district. Meanwhile, Miles finds himself in a bit of a pickle trying to acquire medication for the shelter to help the sick and wounded. This kid is already becoming a hero. Look at that. He unfortunately ends up in a game of hide and seek with Rhino that he barely manages to escape. But have no fear, Spidey is here. Oh, so is Scorpion. Okay. These guys love their 2-on-1 advantages, huh? Well, advantage or not, it's gonna take a lot more than 2 freaks to put Spider-Man down, and locking them up for good rewards us with the Sting and Smash trophy. Here come the Sting. Here come the Smash. 2 more bad guys back where they belong, and it's time to bring Martin Lee to justice once and for all. Once more, Lee tries to trap Spider-Man in another reality-bending scenario while he attempts to kill Osborn, who he blames for making him the way that he is. This leads to one final showdown with Martin Lee and an epic finishing blow. Just a friggin' wild scene overall. That suit also looks sick in this damn cutscene. Whoa, to the jaw, through the mask, let's go. Staying positive, baby. Sit down, Lee. But Spidey's nightmare isn't over just yet. Doc Ock busts through the ceiling, nearly destroying the Devil's Breath cure, which Spider-Man had finally obtained, only to leave Spider-Man for dead and keep it for himself. Spider-Man awakens more battered and bruised than ever, but determined to put a stop to Doc's evil plans. And just as we're about to confront our fate and close this thing out...
Oh, right. Careful, Miles.
No.
Oh, I thought this didn't happen till, like, the post-game or after the game. I forgot that this happened during the game.
Maybe it's this one.
You better get better, John. Watch out, Miles. Ew. Smack again. Kill it again.
It was time to tie up a few last-minute loose ends.
Oh, wait. Warning. This is your last chance to upgrade gear and abilities before the end of the story. Oh, thank you for telling me that, because I want to get more shit done. Let's go.
First things first, take down this crazy-looking freak, Tombstone. What is his deal, by the way? Is he like made of rock? Is he a rock man?
I like you.
Aw, I like you too, bro. Tombstone takedown. Let's go. Easy. Should also give me enough for the last skill. Let's go. Oh, superior. That's a gold one.
Our next target was Taskmaster, and yes, I meant to get caught. That's part of it. He and I had some unfinished business, and settling it once and for all gives us the Master of Masters trophy. Wrapping up the last handful of side missions is actually going to get us 2 trophies, which is sweet. Some of these little side stories were pretty cool. They didn't really take very long. They were mostly just go here, do a thing, come back type stuff. But finishing them off is going to get you schooled for completing the corrupted student side missions and friendly neighborhood Spider-Man for completing all the side missions. Next, we hop on the train to scout the final Black Cat location, which leads us to her hideout, where she made us a new suit. That is sick as hell. What a nice woman. Over to our final landmark location, which happens to be the Raft Prison, and snapping that last pick nabs us the Sightseeing Trophy. Next, it's time to shut down our last Fisk hideout for all the King's men, mollywop our last prisoner camp for back in the Slammer, and put an end to the final Sable outpost, which unlocks the Mercenary Tactics Trophy. We now have enough tokens to purchase our last Spidey suit, and doing so is going to give us a suit for all seasons. So with the exception of petty crimes across the city and like a backpack or two, these districts are damn near completed. So it is time to hashtag finish the story and claim our final 5 trophies. Peter returns to the lab to cook up a little project of his own, a new badass black and yellow spider suit, and he's finally ready to face his former mentor head on. Doc, however, has gone full cuckoo mode and kidnapped Mayor Osborn, but luckily for Norman, the new and improved Spider-Man arrives and the fight is on. With the fate of the city at hand and Peter being torn apart by having to fight the man he cared for, the stakes couldn't possibly be any higher. But just when it seemed like Spidey had the upper hand, the momentum changed. The cinematics during this final fight were excellent. It genuinely felt like you were watching the ending of a Spider-Man movie. It was crazy.
Sam, if he drops this damn serum... No, he's not gonna drop it. He's not gonna drop it. Damn. That's so badass.
I should have known you'd turn on me.
What?
You rest easy. Knowing your secret is safe with me.
Go ahead and tell everybody.
You do what you think is best, Doc. It's
Yeah.
all any of us can.
Yeah.
And with that, Peter walks away, cure in hand, and the city finally saved. What an emotional ride that story was. Oh, wait, that's right. It's not over yet, because now, in an insanely sad and soul-crushing cutscene, Peter is forced to choose between giving Aunt May the serum to cure just her, or using it as a base to cure everyone. This scene was crazy. But as they say, with great power comes great responsibility. Ooh.
These allergies are getting kind of crazy.
Fast forward 3 months, the dust has settled in New York City. And finally, Peter catches a damn break.
You can always stay at my place.
Oh, shit. Let's go, Pete. Come on, Peter. Let's go. About time this man got a W.
And with that, the credits roll on the main story. But in typical Marvel fashion, 2 post-credit scenes set the stage for future Spider-Man games. The first, with Miles showing off his impressive new powers to Pete, and Norman Osborn revealing he's been doing experiments on his son Harry. And a very strange subject reaches out towards Norman, rewarding us with the final story trophy, Endgame.
Oh, Endgame. Story is done, man. That shit's so good.
Congratulations, you have completed Spider-Man. You want to do new gameplay? Nope. Thank you, though.
4 trophies remain. It is go time.
We now take our victory lap towards Avengers Tower, where we perch ourselves at the very top to unlock Hero for Hire and sneak right around here to obtain the final backpack and receive Backpacker. A small handful of petty crimes is all that stands between Spider-Man and the Platinum Trophy, and we got no time to waste. After laying down the law all over Manhattan, we hop on the train to Harlem, and we arrive at our final mission marker for the Platinum Trophy.
It is. Oh, it's a APC one too. These are easy. All right, last wave. I'm using all my stuff here. I don't care. Yeah.
Shit, where's it?
Is that the last guy? Where's the last guy? Oh, there he is. I see you. Come here.
Why are you dying? Oh, he's dead. Let's go. 100% districts. 100% districts. Which means be greater. Let's go. Platinum trophy, baby. Mission complete. All 51 trophies earned in Marvel's Spider-Man, including the platinum, baby. What a game this is, man. Honestly, not a very hard platinum at all. This was not the first time I played through it, and I enjoyed it just as much as when I played it the first time. But absolutely one of the best superhero games ever, period. That's 2 in the bag now, people, but the question is, what's next? Leave a comment down below for which game we should platinum next. The ones on the screen are my current front runners, so let me know down below. Subscribe to the channel. We're on the road to 2 million. I'll see you guys next time.